Hello and welcome. My name is Kathy A. and today I'm going to do a very special show on one of my absolute favorite brands of cosmetics. Tarte is the name of the brand, and of course, like I like to do when I do a one brand special, I like to do a little bit of a documentary on the brand. So I'll start off with that and then we'll come back and do a full face tutorial so you can see where I started from and how I got to here.
The story of Tarte Cosmetics begins with this woman. Born in 1972, Maureen Kelley had a lifelong obsession with cosmetics. At age 4, using her mother's makeup, Maureen gave her Holly Hobby dolls makeovers. At age 6, Maureen created blush using cough syrup and shaving cream. And as a young teen, she made her own lip gloss. Maureen didn't like the makeup that was available in the 1980s. It was full of harsh chemicals, and she didn't know how to really put it on correctly once she bought it at the store. While going for her doctorate in psychology at New York's Columbia University, Maureen made a life-changing decision. Obsessed with cosmetics, Maureen would drop out to create her own line of makeup. It would be state-of-the-art, vegan-friendly, and easy to use. She called this makeup Tarte, and in 1999 started the company. She charged over $20,000 on her Amex card to buy supplies to both make the products and to package them. The first product she created for her Tarte line was a push-up blush stick. Maureen turned her little one-bedroom apartment into a factory and hired her friends and relatives to come and pack and fill the cosmetics for her, paying them in wine and pizza. When Maureen's inventory got big enough, she made calls to beauty editors of magazines because she wanted write-ups, but her calls went unanswered, so she disguised herself and dropped off samples in their mailrooms. This ploy really worked, and finally the buzz was on and the writers started to put articles about Tarte Cosmetics in their magazines. Maureen's favorite store in New York was Henri Vandel, and she called the buyer, bluffing that her products were so popular Bergdorf Goodman had just placed a large order. Her plan worked, and Vandel gave her Tarte's first really large order. Maureen created even more products, and as her inventory grew and the money came in, she started to make trips to do research on innovative ingredients for her makeup. When she went to the Amazon, she noticed the women there had gorgeous skin and hands, and she was perplexed how everybody seemed to look so great there. She was pointed to the clay on the banks of the Amazon River. She tried it on herself first, and brought a jar back to her lab, and then many cosmetics were created using this clay, which is full of nutrients and good things for your skin, the most popular item being her line of 12-hour blushes. This clay is considered one of nature's finest ingredients and is harvested twice a year. Another interesting ingredient that Maureen discovered while in the Amazon was maracuja oil. This amazing oil is derived from the Amazonian passion fruit that grows on vines wrapped around the trees near the Amazon River. The pulp, or soul of the fruit, is cold pressed by hand to create this very hydrating oil. Used in many of Tarte's products, it is especially nice in Tarte's lip and foundation products. The beautiful flowers of the passion fruit are actually inspirations for a lot of the package designs that you see on Tarte products. They're really breathtaking flowers. In the early 2000s, as Tarte continued to grow, they wound up being featured in Sephora's and also QVC, where often Maureen was a guest. As CEO of this tremendously successful business, Maureen continues to create new and innovative makeup. She is her own best customer, always carrying at least 6 shades of butter lipstick in her purse. The Tarte company is also very progressive and has an on-site personal trainer and nutritionist to help keep the staff healthy. Maureen Kelley may not change the world with her philosophy of healthy makeup, but she has changed the cosmetic industry forever, and for that we are grateful.
Wasn't that interesting? Doesn't that make you just want to rush out and buy some Tarte stuff just to support these people? I just love them. Oh my God. And I'm not kissing up. Nobody gave me anything for free or anything. Believe me. I used all my allowance on this makeup. So let's go into the makeup tutorial. I'm going to take you back to my start point and take you right up to where I am now. So with the magic of video, let's turn back the hands of time.
Alright, here we go in fast action. Drinking my coffee there. This is the Sephora Supreme Cleansing Oil just for my eye makeup and mascara. Moving on to CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser, washing my whole face with that and rinsing well, and then patting dry and putting on the CeraVe Moisturizing Lotion. Letting all that set in for 5 minutes. Starting off with the Clean Slate 12-Hour Poreless Primer from Tarte. And I'm just patting it into all the problem areas, crow's feet, St. Bernard lines, frown lines, any place where there's nooks and crannies. Giving that a second to set. This is the Amazonian Clay BB Illuminating Moisturizer. I'm shaking it up, putting on the first layer. I'm actually going to put a second coat just on half of my face. I'm going to do the other half with a different moisturizing foundation. So this is the BB cream. I'm also using it in the eye primer area, going down my neck because it is a little bit dark and slightly yellow. Just working that in nicely. Not enough coverage for me, so I'm going to put another layer on. Shaking it up again, putting it on, patting it in. It's a little bit shiny. Takes a little while for this to set. So while that's setting, I'm going to go to the other side and use a different foundation. This is the Maracuja Miracle Foundation in the color Light. To be fair, this is expiration April 14 and it is now February, so it's only got a couple months. I did shake it up really well. Now you can tell it's very, very warm, very yellow. Be ideal if you're just starting out with your tan in, say, late May, June. Now I'm using a buffing brush to buff that in really nicely into the skin because I do have a problem with my skin looking very, very dry and cracked this time of year, much like a desert crack. And those of you with dry skin know. So if you buff it in really well and let it set, it shouldn't look like this. Moving on to the concealer, this is the Amazonian Clay Waterproof Concealer in Fair, and I actually have heard that they have another creaseless concealer that's much better for dry skin. This one does not work well with my skin, even though from a distance it looks good. Close up, it's actually sinks into wrinkles, pores, that sort of thing. Now I'm just going to smooth that in with a damp sponge. I've got a beauty blender here, just kind of working it in, and I'm keeping the lightness to the center of my face, which is a good makeup technique, especially for us older gals. I'm just blending that in really well. It looks a little awkward now, but we're going to make it work. This is the Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. $29 for a tiny little jar. I am just brushing it on lightly with a brush. Doesn't seem to give me quite enough powder to finish my whole face in one go. But it did really smooth everything, just like it says, Smooth Operator. It really did kind of meld everything together nicely. So I'm very pleased with that. It's very, very finely milled. Here is Sheer Passion Maracuja Hydrating Cheek Tint in the color Amused. You squirt, you twist it up from the bottom and you squirt it, and it's a very strong color. Here I am trying to blend it in. It's just a little bit too strong for me, so I'm just going to use a little of that powder on a brush and just kind of go over that a little bit and see how effective that powder was. Just kind of took a little too much off actually, so just putting a little bit of color there. Going to try a powder blush on the other side. This is Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in Thankful is the color, and it's a beautiful subtle color. As you can see, I'm using it in the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock of my eyebrow brow area, as you can see. Really pretty color. I'm very pleased with that one. And that one is one of several blushes. This is a swatch of another blush I have called Empowered. I couldn't decide which of these to use. And then my favorite is Exposed, it's called. It's very, very mauve-y, natural looking, but I wanted a little pop of color because we're getting into spring. Now this is the palette Coral Crush. It has eye and cheek colors, really wonderful, especially the Park Avenue Princess. That's a bronzer that all other bronzers are compared to. It's just a marvelous blendable bronzer. It looks very natural. It never looks like dirt, never looks too orange. There I am taking out some of my double chins there. I really love that. Now on the other side of this large compact area is the Champagne. You can use it as a highlighter. And you can also use it as an eyeshadow, which I will a little later. Looking at some of the eyeshadow colors, the first one is Paradise Pink. Just going to put that on my lid. It's a nice shimmery light pink. And I don't put shimmer all the way up. I only put it on my lid. Moving on to the palette Be Magnificent, the CC palette. I'm going to use some of this Rose Up to the Occasion shadow, which they claim is a crease color. It's a little bit dark, a little bit dramatic, but I'm going to put it in there in that crease area. I'm just kind of blending it with my fingers a little bit. All of these shadows are very pigmented and very strong, so you have to be careful not to put too much on at once. I'd rather blend up. Now I'm just going to go over that with View from the Taupe shadow, just to smooth out that color a little bit. And we're going into a nice base color, Sand Out from the Crowd. You can also use that under your brow bone. It's a matte vanilla color, very, very pleasant. And I'm going to use some of the blush in there called Elevated as a transition color between the crease color and my brow bone color. Going into this dark purple, it's called Two Plums Up. I'm just using it in the last third of my lower lid there. And I'm going to use a clean brush. This has nothing on it, it's just a blending brush. And I'm just blending that in, take out the harsh lines and smooth out the edges so it's not too rough. You can always keep adding or you can take away as you go. Going back to the other palette, I'm going to use Park Avenue Princess in my brows. Now Tarte just came out with a beautiful brow pencil, and I'll probably get that, but until then, Park Avenue Princess works very nicely as an eyebrow powder, and it also works as a crease color. It's a very versatile product. I think I'm going to get the full size of the Park Avenue Princess, and I've used the Champagne there in the tear duct area. I'm going to use a little of this Lilac Mist just in the color bar center of my eyelid, and it puts just enough pop of color. It's not too overpowering, but it's there. Now this is the Coco Cabana shadow. This very dark brown adds a little more drama to the outer edge. Going back to the Magnificent palette, going to use a small pencil brush into that dark brown shadow as an eyeliner. It's called Dreamin' Chocolate, and I'm making kind of just going halfway into my eye and out right next to the lash line. You can do a lot of looks with these two palettes. Now I'm curling my lashes with my Ulta eyelash curler. It's the kind I like. I like these better than those big metal ones. And we're using Lights Camera Flashes mascara. This is probably their most high volume, high thickness mascara. Works really well, really fast. It is a large brush. Some folks have trouble with the lower lashes, you know, and it gets a little messy sometimes, but I really like it because it gives big old honkin' lashes, which are my favorite, and it's not clumpy. You can always go through it with a an empty spoolie if you find that it's clumping up at all, but I really like this mascara a lot. It's one of my favorites. Just finishing up those lower lashes. And now we're going, this is another mascara gifted that gives a more natural lash. This is Amazonian Clay Universal Lip Liner. It's nude color. I guess if you have lips that are this shade, it goes really well, but I would think if you have a really dark skin tone, this might be a little light for you. I really like it. It goes on very smoothly and stays. Now these two are the Amazonian Butter Lipsticks. I have 2 colors in it, probably will have several more by the end of the month. The first one is Angelic Nude. Second one is Coral Blossom, and that's the one I'm putting on my lips right now. They're absolutely beautiful. They feel great. They look great. They last a long time. Just gorgeous.
So there you have it. This is the Tarte look, and I really love it. I love this makeup. I love this company. I love the CEO. I love the website. I love everything about this company. Except some of the prices seem a little high, you know, but I'm a cheapskate, as you all know. But I will continue to buy more of these Tarte products and give you little updates as they come in. I have something on order right now, and I'm just really loving it. And I just feel so youthful and so alive when I'm wearing this makeup. It is more for, I think, spring or summer because it is kind of more of a yellow tone, so you do have to kind of be careful with that in the winter time because well, actually it looks like I did go to the Amazon, and here's my Amazonian coffee. So that just about does it for my Tarte special. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've learned something, and maybe you find some products that you really like. So take care, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Toodles.